What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This video we're going to be taking a look at the Shargeek 170. This company did a little rebranding here not too long ago, so they're basically go by Sharge now, and you can see that right here with S-H-A-R-G-E, but this was the former name Shargeek. So we have reviewed some of their products before. They have a very unique product line that they really produce some very interestingly cool, aesthetically cool looking products, right? So same thing with this 170 power bank. Again, this is 170 watt max, and this goes up to 24,000 milliamps, and that's what it's rated at, right? That's not exactly what you're going to get, but that's how they rate these bad boys. And this is going to have 3 ports that you're going to spread that 170 watt max out. And if we pop it over on the back, you can definitely see here we have the transparent design that Sharge is known for, and a very prismatic design, which is kind of futuristic looking. So let's go ahead and just open this up, and as you can see, this is the first time I am opening it, so you're kind of getting an unboxing experience here. So that is what we have inside the box. Looks like we've got some cables and the charger. Little packaging endpoints here. So here we have, again, USB-C 1, and this is an output input. And a C2, this is USB, again, output input, and a USB-A output only. And then a little button here. And the cool transparent design of Sharge. I'll try to bring it up to the camera here, and you can just see all the circuitry, the silicone, very, very cool internals. So I'm a big fan of Sharge's design here, and as always they have this display here that's going to basically be a smart display and tell you some of the metrics that are going on with your device, what it's charging at, what it's outputting, all that kind of good stuff. Battery life remaining, everything is basically in that display. So let's go ahead and hold this and power it up. And again, output, input, we're at 0, 0, and then the charge time, recharging time, and we're sitting at 68% on our overall capacity on this battery. Let's go ahead and pop open the cables. You can see it's got a nice little prism display, prism setup, so it faces you when it's down. It's kind of nice. Might be kind of cool on a desk. In this little box here, we've got a user guide, a nice braided style cable with some aluminum housed USB-C, and a little Velcro cable manager, and I like that. And then again, we've got a carry pouch, so if you're wanting to carry this with you, a little branding and says Sharge on it, so we can definitely carry that with. So let's go over some of the specs of this bad boy before we just plug it in. Now, if you want the official model number, it's SP170, so I guess probably Charge Power 170, maybe what SP stands for. 170 watt max output, okay, and that's going to be spread across the 3 ports. Also, 140 watt max input. So when you're charging this, you can do 140 watt maximum input to it. And you saw it has 2 inputs via the USB-C ports. If you're going to use this, the USB-C 1 and USB-C 2 have the 140 watt max. And the USB-A can only manage 30 watts. Okay, so if you're going to be using the USB-A output, that's the max. It's only ever going to do 30 watts, no matter what, right? So these two are where you're going to get the combined 140 watt max. And how that's going to break down, if you were to plug in all 3 of these, you're going to get 65 watts out of the 2 USB-Cs, and the 30 watts actually you get 18 watts because that would not equal the 140. So 18 watts if you're using all of this. So this is going to get almost halved on its output when you're using these. So, you know, the more you use, the less it's going to spin on these ports, right? And the USB-A is going to be the first sacrificial lamb when it comes to getting a cut. Now, I already mentioned that this is 24,000 milliamps. That is what it's rated at. Smart display. Also, I want to say that this is 1.5 pounds. Okay, it is a little bit heavy. So that equates to about 680 grams if you are on different metrics. But 1.5 pounds. So you throw this in your backpack or your carry, you're definitely going to feel the weight. You can see the batteries in it on both sides. It's got a lot of batteries. Okay, it is airline safe. I don't know if you saw that or not. TSA approved. You can take this on a plane, and they should not have any issues with it, even though this semi looks like a bomb. I'm just saying, you know, you might pique some interests when they're looking at this device. But according to the specifications, this would pass TSA regulations on getting on a plane. All right. One other thing, again, we already mentioned that it is transparent, but it also is water resistant. But don't take this in the bathtub and play with it or anything near water, right? It's basically, if you spill something, you know, you should be okay. Don't submerge it, obviously. Don't do anything like that. It's resistant, not proof. So, and it's electricity, energy, and again, energy and water, not a good combination to tinker with. All right, so I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to bring over a couple things. We're going to plug it in. We're going to look at the smart display, see how it manages and monitors that, and what it says is going on when it comes to our devices. So I'll be right back with a little demonstration. Before we do a quick demonstration, I wanted to show you this cool little device that I have. This basically is a cable checker. So something I might start incorporating in videos when they come with cables is to basically check the cable to see what all that cable has built into it, right? And you're like, oh, what are you talking about? So let's plug these cables in. Now you can see a bunch of different lights that are illuminating on this device, okay? Certain things aren't lit up and some things are. And then there's an actual guide that tells you, so on the back here is basically the same stuff, but there's a little guide that you can use and see exactly what this cable supports. So just out of the gate, you know, you're making sure it's got good grounding. You know, does it support data? What kind of speeds does it support? Also, its compatibility with like Thunderbolt, Lightning, you know, all that kind of stuff. This will do about any cable that's out there. Obviously, USB-C, and also USB-A 3.0, 2.0, all sorts of different combinations. Even back here, we've got a different kind of USB port, and then another kind of USB port. This was back in the days of the hard drives and stuff, and I know that one's not focusing. Sorry about that. But so the cable is adequate for a charge cable. All right. It says 240 watt PD on the cable. So this cable basically, and according to these lights, I would definitely confer that looking at my chart that this would support the 240 watt max. Okay, this device obviously is only 170, so this cable should be more than efficient to handle that kind of power consumption. So I just thought I would show this before we demonstrate. I just want to do a little cable metrics and management and see what we get in the box. So if you're interested in that, I'll try to put a link in the show notes for this little device. It's not that expensive and it's kind of cool and helpful, especially when you just throw your cables in a box. How many times you got a cable out and you want data and it's just strictly for power, right? So, or maybe it doesn't have PD power delivery and you're using it and you're not getting the maximum efficiency out of your device that you paid for. So this is a very neat little thing to have to basically gauge if you're using a cable that is right for the job. All right, we'll be back with a demonstration. All right, guys, welcome back. So we've got the brick basically plugged in here. And as you can see here now on the input, we're doing 30 watts, basically, right? So 30 watts of input And it says that the remaining charge time is about 1 hour and 2 minutes to get this from 71% to full. Okay, so that's not too terrible. On the flip side, I am using the USB-A port and charging a hotspot that is currently on and operating, and the output is about 1.92 watts, as you can see right here on this screen right there. So I am going to now plug in my iPhone with the provided Apple cable. Now, one thing I didn't want to do in this demo is to show you it does pass through. This is charging, and I'm still able to charge devices with it. So you can charge up to 3 devices, but currently I am charging this to prove that you can charge it and still charge other devices. So I'm going to plug in my iPhone, which is needing a charge. It's sitting at 84%. I'm going to use the provided Apple cable for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is a braided cable, so at least they've upped their game a little bit on their cable. But I did want to show you just how crappy, that'd be nice, of cable Apple is providing you. Not only from a data perspective, but from a power perspective. So, back to our cable piece again here. That's not a lot of lights. Okay, so you can see that the Apple cable that they're providing is garbage. In fact, it can only do 5 gigabits per second. Why give you a 5 gigabits per second cable when the iPhone 15 Pro Max is capable of 10? So Apple's already giving you a handicap with the cable they're providing, that you cannot use the maximum speed for data that the iPhone is capable of. Let's go ahead and plug it in, and we're going to charge it. And the iPhone starts to charge. And now our output wattage is going up. Now we're up to 8, 10, so we're going to 11. So as you can see, we're fluctuating more output. And our charge time now has gone from 1 hour and a minute to up to 1 hour and 41 minutes, because we're draining about half of what it's charging at. So if we've got 30 watts in and about 12 out, that is basically, you know, going to take about half the time to charge it back up. So that is an example of charging 2 devices at the same time and charging the device, the battery bank as well. But again, we can charge 3 devices and just spread that wealth of output. But at this point, I think you get the picture. So check the show notes for a link for the Shargeek 170, or the Charge 170, and don't sell yourself short of this beautifully done, crafted, designed, and functional power brick. Highly recommend it. You can charge a MacBook, obviously, with this, so it's got the juice to at least put the MacBook into especially the Airs, you know, keep them going. You're still going to lose ground based on the needed capacity to keep it running and charged versus usage. So, but definitely a powerful brick here to utilize, and definitely one that's going to be a conversation starter, and people will be like, "Ooh, that's cool." So again, check show notes for a link for everything you've seen in this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, guys, thanks for watching and have a good one.